Hello, and welcome to tonight's edition or today's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast with our new look. I am your host, Dark Lord 100, and I am here with my co-host, the one and only Rune Scryer. What's up, sir?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm a big giant head right now.
Yeah, you are. It's funny. Pop culture reference real quick for those old enough to remember it. But I was listening to an old school Bone Thugs and Harmony song called Ghetto Cowboy, in which they are all in the video. They're all old they're all basically a band of old like outlaws in cowboy uniforms, right? And there's a verse by a young man. It was a very clean verse, very good verse by a young man named Powder. And he's in, yes, Powder would probably mean what you think it means. Yes, he's the only white dot in the Mo Thug family, but he shows up and names Powder P, does his verse and all that. But then I catch the Mo Thug video for Ghetto Cowboy, and this is where I had Suave dying. Is like a few years after the song was popular, I catch the video for it, and they did that poor white boy wrong. They put that poor white boy in an all black cowboy outfit, black hat, black everything. They set this fool against a black background and told him to rap directly into the camera. The man looked like a floating head. Like you couldn't see the rest of the body because the rest of the body was black in with the background of the shot. I was just like, somebody in visual needs some help. Like that wasn't right. Somebody noticed that and ignored it. I know it. Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining us here on the Cheap Pop Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at the Cheap Pop Podcast 25. And go follow us and check out clips from the show, articles, so on and so forth. All right. So now we jump directly into our first and my favorite topic, or my favorite part of the show, which is Hot Topics, where we talk about some of the hottest topics in pop culture, video games, wrestling, whatever it may be today. All right, so let's kick it off with the Scary Movie 6 trailer. For those of you who don't know, the Wayans brothers have officially come back, and we are now getting, and it will be out May 8th, I believe. No, that was Mortal Kombat is May 8th. Later this year, I believe, is when it'll be out. But we are getting, and here's what makes this special, because everybody's like, "Oh, it's Scary Movie 6. It's the 6 in the line." I was just explaining this to Rune Scryer off air. This is one of the first movies that the Wayans are back doing kind of everything for it, writing, producing, everything. The first couple of ones they did that, and those movies were hits. But the last few were done by different people. I want to say 3 and 4 were done by they were written by different people, but the Wayans still directed, and I don't know. But I just know that it's kind of like a Freddy Krueger not Robert Englund, but John Carpenter. Was it Carpenter? No. Carpenter wasn't. Who am I thinking of? The director for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven. It was kind of like a Wes Craven thing where Wes Craven was a part of the first one, but like 2, 3, and 4, he wasn't a part of another Freddy movie until we got New Nightmare. As far as him directing, and so you kind of had the feel of the old Freddy back when you got the old director back. And I think from what I saw of the trailer, it's kind of a similar thing here where we're going to get more of the old feel back of the original scary movies 1 and 2 with the Wayans back now at the helm. And so I'm excited for it. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know if you were a fan of the series or not, but
I actually haven't seen any of them, so it's just sort of like one of those don't know if it's going to be for me or not. I might check it out on like a Netflix or a streamer and give it a chance.
Yeah, I would say before you give 6 a chance, give 1 a chance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Give 1, and then you can kind of find out if it's your style of comedy. I've always been a big fan of the Wayans style of comedy. Loved In Living Color, loved the Wayans show, with the brothers, and I've seen multiple of the Wayans live in stand up, and they're hilarious.
They're the Wayans are a little more hit and miss for me than constant stuff. But like I said, I'll give it a shot and check it out.
For sure. There's another one that Marlon Wayans did after Scary, when they were no longer attached to the Scary Movie project. That was kind of making fun of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
In those movies, that was pretty funny as well. It's just another one to add to check out.
Then Superhero Movie and
Superhero Movie was another good one. I didn't really like Superhero Movie. That one was kind of a miss for me. A lot of the stuff done by Damon Wayans Jr., which Superhero Movie was one of those, and I forgot what the other one was that was making fun of the dancing movies. Those movies didn't hit well with me.
Yeah.
They didn't hit well with me at all.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on in hot topics to the next one, which is another hot topic of what dropped this week, and that was another full trailer for Mortal Kombat II. The first movie was good, but wasn't necessarily I don't know. Like I said, I didn't quite enjoy. I enjoyed graphically, visually. Like visually, it was awesome. Like it was beyond awesome. But I think that storyline wise, they kind of dropped the ball. This version of it seems to be that they're getting a little bit better with it, and I truly don't mind the addition of Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. As I spoke to you earlier, I think that he'll be able to say the lines, but I still think that the actor who played him in the original Mortal Kombat did a better job. But as far as personality wise, but look wise, Urban's got the look. But I just showed you the trailer before we went on air. So what are your thoughts on what you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I'm definitely going to be watching it. Whether I drag my ass out into the theater to watch it, that remains to be seen. I got a few more extra steps to deal with theater stuff than most people do. So
I just don't like sitting next to people, so I'll probably wait till it comes out on streaming. But there's a part of me that wants to go see it in the theater just to give it.
There's stuff where the theater experience really is what will define it for you.
Right. Because I remember, like, I don't know if you were I think you were a part of that group. I don't remember if you were or not, because I don't remember if you were a part of our entire clique by that point. But the original Mortal Kombat, when it came out in the theaters, I went with a large group of my friends and watched that movie, and
No, because
I liked it.
that was like what, 89?
The original Mortal Kombat? No, you're thinking like I was out of high school already, so it had to be
Okay, yeah,
post 94,
I'm way
95.
off on that. So
Yeah. I'm thinking like Mortal Kombat was either 95 or 96. Hold on.
okay, yeah, I wasn't up into the Bay Area until 94. So
There we go. No, not the 2021 film. There it is. It was. Sorry. It was 1995.
yeah,
So it was the
okay.
original.
I was probably getting in with the click then. So
Yeah. I believe you had already probably met Jamil and
Mhm.
Kahari and them, but I don't know if you had met me and some of the rest of the crew, like the people that we went to.
No, the first time I met
whatchamacallit.
you was when we went over and watched Friday on VHS.
At my place?
Yeah,
Huh.
that was the first time I found myself in Oakland. I'm like,
Oh no, then that wasn't my place because I never lived in Oakland. That would have had to have been Steve and Jamil's places.
okay,
One of Steve Jamil's places out there. Yeah, because I never lived in Oakland.
dude,
I lived in San Leandro.
30 years ago. Okay, you can't expect us to hold those memories anymore.
Oh, trust me. When I say this, and I mean this wholeheartedly, I get confused because I had two separate large groups of friends that I interacted with at that time that literally very rarely ever intersected with each other, but all the memories in my head are all jumbled up as if it was all one big group. But anyway, yeah, no, I am somebody that if you as a director and as a writer write a love letter to me as a fan, I'm gonna try my best to go and support that. And that's what I feel this is. This is definitely a love letter from them to the fans. And we're getting the Mortal Kombat we should have gotten years ago, even though the first one wasn't bad. Like the first one was very well done for what we were dealing with at the time as far as graphics, as far as CGI, so on and so forth. 2 and 3, the second and third Mortal Kombat movie that came out in like 98 and then in 2000, those were horrible. Those were straight to DVD horrible movies. They revitalized the film franchise with the 2021 or 2020 movie, and here we sit with this one. I'm good. I'm like I said, they didn't get my money for 2020 because the theaters were closed, but they might get my money for this. All right, so we'll close out hot topics with that.
Got two other things. Okay.
What's up?
So first off, since we're on the trailer subject, there is a production trailer. It's only 30 seconds, announcing the next Apple Plus series, Neuromancer.
Okay.
And if you are not familiar with the book, then the trailer is not going to make much sense. But this is the book that not only created the entire cyberpunk genre, this is one of those works where it also has a very complicated relationship with how technology advances. Because Neuromancer was the first time that the word cyberspace was used. It was the first time that we saw the potential for an interconnected telecommunication network on personal computers. It basically, the internet as we know it has been influenced by and has influenced. It's really complicated.
Okay.
But it's looking good so far. It's good to see Mark Strong is going to be playing one of the characters in there, and it's a really good casting. But I'll be keeping watch on it, and when we get closer, it's coming out this year. But when we get closer and we get a full trailer, I will be bringing that to us.
All right, there you go. Keep
and
an eye out for that.
The second thing is, sadly, looks like Warner Brothers is going to Paramount now.
Oh, that's one of our topics of pop culture, of a pop culture corner.
Never mind, I jumped the gun.
Yeah. We will get to that as soon as we get into a little bit deeper into pop culture corner. But yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and kick that off here. We'll talk a little bit about an article that I found. It said Warner Brothers heir compares Paramount deal to a shotgun wedding with your dumb cousin, meaning like basically they were forced into it. And I think I understand what they mean. In a previous article I had read that basically if the Paramount could find a way to make an offer that was significantly larger than Netflix deal, Warner Brothers would be forced to take the Paramount deal, something involving doing what's best for the shareholders. They basically have to accept the deal that will make the shareholders the most amount of money.
Right.
And so this deal did that. So Netflix is out, Paramount is in, and yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think that this is going to be more explosive than people realize, because we're all freaking out about Paramount adding ownership of CNN after the dismantling of the legacy legendary CBS journalism. So now we're giving these folks access to not only the Warner Brothers cartoon and film and other libraries, they're getting access to DC Comics.
Yeah.
Because DC is a Warner Brothers property.
Right.
And so we're not going to have to worry about, Homelander being a parody.
Right.
I mean, that's what they would want to turn Superman into. I am not going to be happy seeing Barry Weiss installed as the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying, but here's the thing with purchasing something like DC. If you go in and fundamentally change the core characters, there's a good portion of your fan base that will never buy another DC product again.
I'm right there with you.
And so I believe that people's money will talk a lot louder than any agenda they may have for DC Comics. I would hope. I'm not guaranteeing, but I would hope, that knowing that like 75 to 80% of the people who obsess and buy and purchase DC, stuff now would most likely not, if they were to make, specific changes to, to the main core characters, your Wonder Woman, your Superman, your Batman, so on and so forth. They were
they don't need to change anything about Batman.
Yeah, well, if they but if they were to make fundamental changes to those characters, I think that the backlash would be enough that you would see Superman back as Superman before you.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't have the same amount of faith in either the general fan base or in the owners. Okay? Because we're talking about people who, as Sun Tzu said, would be willing to burn down their kingdom just so that they can rule over the ashes.
And that's where you may have me, is they may be willing to watch DC burn to the ground to further their agenda.
Right.
Like because effectively, if they were to make those fundamental changes or those core changes to those fundamental changes to those core characters, that's effectively what they would be doing. Is they would be burning DC to the ground, because it would no longer be a profitable product. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so if that's the goal, to make it an unreadable product and to alienate the fan base that is supported, that has held that up for years,
right?
then
Yeah,
it is what it is.
it is what it is.
All Marvel all day. Then
And
sorry.
tangentially, this has reawakened Zack Snyder, where he's kind of been getting a lot of questions on, well, with this merger, are we going to see the Snyderverse continue or return or what? And that is a distinct possibility.
Of course,
right.
it's a possibility, but will it ever become a reality? I doubt that.
Again, I don't know. This is definitely what we saw with Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League was a rather conservative take on the characters, and that's what this is going to be about.
Again, if the goal is to burn DC to the ground,
right,
we see those changes.
Yeah.
If the goal is to purchase this and continue to have it make money and continue, you don't go off the path it's already on.
And that's the other thing. Yeah.
So I think what we'll see is these next few months or after the deal passes, because I'm assuming since we're hearing about it now, the deal won't be official for like another 6 to 8 months.
Something like that.
Once the deal actually happens within the first year, we'll be able to tell whether or not the goal was to buy this and actually run it as a company and make money, or if the goal is to just burn it all to the ground. Because I understand the fears of that happening, and that's a legit and rational fear when people like this take over things like this. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe like in the scenario you're talking about, basically Zack Snyder is allowing himself to be used as a pawn.
Oh yeah,
to further an agenda. And I don't know if I necessarily see that going through, but I think that what they'll do initially, if they're going to go that route, is they'll go to James Gunn and see if they can get him to tone down some of the more what they consider woke aspects of his new universe.
Right.
And then maybe if James Gunn is which I would hope he would be, bite me, then maybe, now they're desperate looking for somebody else so they can turn back to Zack Snyder. But I don't see them ousting James Gunn just for the hell of it, just to bring back Zack Snyder.
No, but as I was telling our boy Jamil yesterday, I was talking with him. I can see a path where the Snyderverse becomes an Elseworld and gets continued every so often, where it's another path to make money, because there are definitely fans of it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely it needs to be fit within a budget, because Justice League made like $660 million. It didn't even crack $750 million in its theatrical run, and it needed to do that in order to be profitable. So I think that if the overhead can be brought down to a price that makes it all more economically feasible, yes, I can see the Snyderverse returning as an Elseworld project.
Yeah. And I think even under James Gunn, I could see that feasibly being, but the thought process that what's going on with Superman now is going to be tossed out.
Yeah, I know.
And all of a sudden we're going to bring. I just don't. I don't see them being that impulsive.
I mean,
because I think in all rhetoric aside, if they are businessmen first, the goal of purchasing a business is to make money.
Right.
So going in and changing a bunch of stuff that's going to literally cost you billions, if not trillions of revenue, and not knowing where you can make that up at, elsewhere, is what to me says, as a businessman, I think that overrides all. But again, I don't know these people. I don't know what they do or how they think, so I don't know.
And also, again, who could have seen John Walker Captain America back in the 80s, and Marvel doing that.
Right. Yeah, but I also think that Marvel has a lot more leeway to do the things like they do with their characters than DC has with their movie universe right now, to make sudden and rash changes in order to be long-term successful. But I agree with you that all of that is a possibility. Like I just we're not necessarily we part ways, but where we think a little bit differently is the likelihood of it.
And I was talking about John Walker in the comics in the 1980s,
right.
where Cap is out and the conservative guy is now in. So that's yeah.
But like I said, we'll see what happens. We have some time before they even finish taking over. But here we go. I think you brought this to us, that the major Batman villain is Gotham City's new mayor in the comics.
Yes.
So who is this?
In March, Gotham will have a mayor that's going to be bringing in a massive new green project proposal for Gotham City, because stand up for Her Honor Mayor Pamela Isley.
Oh, Poison Ivy, huh?
Yep. And that's not the only big thing that's going on in Batman right now.
Okay.
Because apparently the commissioner of the GCPD is Vandal Savage.
Nice. Not Vandal.
Yeah. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see the dynamic developing in there.
Now, if you don't want to go back and read 50 years worth of comics and you want to know who Vandal Savage is, check out season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow on Netflix, the CW show. And I'll give you a small
season 1 of Young Justice.
Yeah, or season 1 of Young Justice. Yeah. He appears in both. But yeah, like Vandal Savage is a savage character. I rather enjoyed his villainy.
Immortal crime lord.
Yes. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Poison Ivy is the mayor.
Yeah. And the first
maybe
thing
that's a little too woke for people, no?
Yeah, but the first apparently the first
hold on one second.
First issue in the arc, which is going to be Poison Ivy 42, I think, in another couple of months. She's settling in, and her first task is she calls Vandal Savage onto the carpet to set things straight, to say, yes, I am that bitch. You are going to do what I say.
Wow.
I am going to be keeping my eyes on you.
Oh my goodness. So it's going to be her and Vandal going at it from a political standpoint, huh?
Yeah, I need to see what Bruce is going to be dealing with in there. It's an interesting way to take Batman sort of back to the status quo with the police, where so that's we will see what happens coming up. And speaking of DC, more changes. This year we are getting a new Teen Titans team.
Yeah, I heard about that. My daughter was telling me about that.
Yeah, not led by Nightwing.
Yeah.
But by Red Hood.
By Red Hood, yeah. She was telling me that, yeah.
Yeah. And we also got Flatline, who is Damien's little boo thing on the team. And also Fair Play, who's Mr. Terrific's son. Yeah. Who is every bit as intelligent as his dad.
Hey.
That's going to be fun.
Be good.
And last DC thing, I managed to get my hands on a copy of History of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident.
Okay.
And yeah.
Nice.
That was great. And,
nice.
It's only a one shot, but it explains why the Dakota folks were not prominently featured, and basically Dakota ended up having the highest per capita population of metahumans in the entire
Okay.
United States.
That
And
explains all that.
yeah, so what ends up happening, and this is just after Edwin Alva's death.
Mm,
So President Lex Luthor, along with his advisors, Amanda Waller, Sarge Steele, I can't remember who else, and also um, Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, because remember he was Secretary of Education back then.
didn't know
So
that. That's like,
yeah, so they go into Dakota. They get and first of all, it's like a literal military invasion of Dakota, which um, Blood Syndicate was having absolutely none of that.
okay.
And it's basically Icon, Static, and Hardware. Once Captain Adam shows up, and yeah, Icon handles business with Captain Adam, but um, they're like, okay, this is not doing us any good. Everybody stand down.
Right.
Okay. And
Okay.
basically Luthor gives them an ultimatum. You stop using your powers. You retire from superheroing. Justice League and the Justice League, the big three showed up in there to try to bring things back under control. And so there was an arrangement with the Luthor administration for everyone to, in Dakota, just stand down, don't act up. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on inside.
Okay.
But the big thing is that it looks like moving forward, we're going to have Static as an adult back leading charge.
Okay.
And bringing all the Dakota folks back to life. We see Rocket's son, Amistad, with his powers. He's a time traveler that goes back in time to try to preserve everything.
Okay.
And witnesses what happens. Icon coming out of his self-imposed retirement. No word about the Blood Syndicate, though.
Okay.
So we don't know what's going to happen with them yet.
All right.
But yeah, we're looking. It's looking to be pretty well lined up for everyone.
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. All right.
Yeah, get it while you can, folks, because it is getting sold out everywhere.
Hey, I want to say, all right. So next up is the Duffer Brothers. I guess they have a new supernatural Netflix show. Where should we know them from? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
These are the guys that created Stranger Things.
Okay, so the Stranger Things guys have a new supernatural Netflix show.
Yeah,
and so what is the name of this show?
The name is, let's look it on up.
The Burrows, huh?
Yeah, the Burrows.
Setting a return.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and it's going to have Alfred Molina, Gina Davis, Alfred Woodard, Dennis O'Hare, Clark Peters, and Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. Oh my God, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yep.
With the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Jeffrey Addis and Will Matthews as creators, showrunners, and executive producers.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay. Takes place in a retirement community whose members must become unlikely heroes in order to stop a threat from another world.
Yep. So it's like reverse Stranger Things.
It's like reverse Stranger Things, huh? All right, I'm here for it. I'm
going to be here for it too.
All right. So you sent us, I don't know if you were sending this just to us in general, but you sent us some picture or some things of a Chrono Trigger Lego sets.
Yes, I was sending that to us.
Cool.
So this is coming up on basically a site that it pitches ideas for new Lego sets. It proposes this. This is like It is official. It is an official Lego site. Okay,
Okay.
this is how Lego gets their feedback. So you can pitch anything you want to on that site, and then you get people signing up for the petition. And they only need, I think, another
Ah.
right there 1,400 supporters or
Oh no,
something
they
like
have
that.
1,400. They
Okay,
need to get to, according to the thing, they have 601 days left to get to 5,000. So they
right.
need another 300 supporters.
And if they get up to the 5,000,
Uh,
hopefully we can help out a little bit. Then
yeah.
Lego will consider pricing out the licensing arrangements with Square Enix.
Nice.
Yep,
Nice. That's pretty cool.
they do that. They do that every so often. I can't remember the number, but
Uh-huh.
even like with the stuff they already have the license for, like, what do you guys want to see next for Star Wars Lego or
And
Batman
you
Lego
somebody
or whatever? Yeah,
and somebody submits an idea with some pictures
right. Of
and
stuff that they've
nice.
done. Yeah,
That's pretty awesome. You know, Lego has always been one of those companies that I kind of feel has an understanding for their fan base and how to interact with them. I've
oh
gone
yeah,
to a couple of Lego Fest, a couple of different years. Once with my mother and niece and my nephew and my daughter, and then another one I went to with Swab and Mr. Hemphill,
yeah,
uh, and we enjoyed it. Like I said, Lego has a really good understanding of how
yeah.
to interact with their
I
fans
mean,
and make it a pleasurable experience.
my wife actually has more unassembled Lego sets in our storage than I do, between
Yeah,
Lego castles, Lego dragons, Lego elves, that whole fantasy line that they have. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
Put them together and sell
Oh,
them.
dude, there was years back. I mean, like a decade or so back. Um, Lego created a tabletop RPG called Heroica, where
Okay.
you're basically building these Lego sets, and your minifigs are going on adventures within the sets, and all four of the sets connected to create a larger kingdom. But you
Mm.
had character advancement, you had dice to roll to defeat enemies and get past traps, unlock chests, and stuff like that.
Lego D&D works
Yep,
for me.
that's what it was, and it was really good.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. So this is another one that I'm a little lost on. I didn't know whether or not this belonged in
Pop culture.
pop culture. Okay. 2000 AD will arrive weekly in the US via lunar distribution.
Okay, so first things first, lunar distribution is one of the many um, magazine and comic book distributors that has arisen in the wake of the collapse of Diamond Distributing.
Okay.
Now, for those you who do not know, 2000 AD is the legendary British comics magazine that gave
Mm.
us Judge Dredd, Rogue Trooper, Nemesis the Warlock, and on and on and on. So this is now going to have weekly distribution in the United States, which is something that has not happened for 2000 AD.
Okay.
Okay.
And now we have a possibility for it to happen.
Oh yeah, no, they're doing it. They're
Nice.
doing it.
Nice.
Okay, and also, as I understand, lunar distribution is also going to be bringing um, the rebooted heavy metal into the United
Really?
States from France.
Nice.
They're the same distribution
Nice.
company. So yeah, um, good time to be alive, to be a European comics fan living in
Yeah.
America.
Sure enough. Sure enough. All right. So the next subject is just a quick shout out to both Chanika Hodge and Deanna Noel on their NAACP Image Awards, wins for Marvel's Ironheart.
Yeah,
Even if that show, as great as it was, wasn't recognized by a lot of the major things,
yeah,
recognize our own at least.
yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
happy for them.
And I thought that. I enjoyed Ironheart. I got the message. I understood what they were saying.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Well written from beginning to end. I
Yep.
think a lot of people. I think a lot of the people that you hear complain about it being woke or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of they have other issues going on. As one of my favorite creators would say, Tony Weaver Jr., seek therapy. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's say,
But yeah, and then also Sacha Baron Cohen showing up at the end with that little. Oh, that was
I believe he was Mephisto, right?
he was
We
Mephisto.
were finally getting Mephisto. All these years, so and so's gonna be Mephisto. So and so's gonna be Mephisto, and we finally got Mephisto. And I think the guy that they chose to play him is going to kill it.
Yeah,
moving forward. But yeah, all right. So quick shout out to them. Much respect. They deserved it.
Also,
okay.
One sad note related to Marvel Comics is that their new intergalactic arc that just started this past fall, they're not going to keep going on it. Marvel's decided so. Planet She-Hulk, Guardians of the Galaxy, Nova Centurion, and Black Panther Intergalactic. That's all getting canceled in the next month or two.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
Why are they canceling all of those? Just
sales weren't where they wanted them at.
All right. Wow. Okay. So we got some news. I'm going to skip over the He-Man story because it wasn't what I thought it was. It's just a thing of whatchamacallit. So we'll jump to our final sad subject for the day before we close out Pop Culture Corner here. And this name will sound familiar because of the last name for most, but the first may not. And unless you're old guys like us, you may not remember him as well as we do. But unfortunately, the world lost Robert Carradine recently at the age of 71. And no, he's the first name, Carradine. Yes. The first thought that popped into my mind is I was like, oh my God, like, why are they calling him Robert? It's David. And I was like, oh no, I forgot he had a brother. And Robert Carradine. And then I was like, well,
he has multiple brothers. Yeah.
Yes. And then I was like, well, where in the hell do I know his brother from? And I was like, because the name sounded so familiar. And then I went and looked it up and realized that he was the one and only Louis Skilnecki from the main character from Revenge of
the Nerds.
Yep. One of my favorite movies and my favorite characters of all time.
A rite of passage for Gen X men.
Yes. Very much so. I always forget John Goodman was in that movie too. Like I genuinely.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Like there's so many star people in that movie that
they're getting their start in Hollywood in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That rap sequence, I think was it from the second one or was that from the
original? The first one at the talent show.
Yeah, that still sticks with me.
Yep.
With Lamar. Yeah. I'll say, but it's sad to see him go. Like I said, slowly but surely, as we started off our death list, we were talking about when I first started calling it that. We were talking about the fact that we're watching our childhood pass away bit by bit, and this is another one that's like, wow, like that movie was a huge part of. I had to between the ages of I think I was about 11 when that movie first came out. 11, maybe 12. My sister and brother took me to the drive-in to go see it. And it was out about the same time as Porky's. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yep, I remember Porky's.
But it was out around the same time. Went and saw it, and then I had to have watched it about another 100 times on HBO and Cinemax when it would come on at random times. Anytime it came on, I would stop and watch it from whatever point in the movie it was in. And
it's it's one of those films where it is what it is, came out in a different time in American society. And
Like, yeah.
you know, I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
I'm saying that it was the 80s. And
I have to say this. I understand that bad is bad, but
yeah,
there are certain things, like with comedy and certain things from the past, that we have to stop trying to look at the past through a today lens. And I've said this multiple times. It was a different time. Nobody is claiming that it's right. It's just like that old grandpa, that old I'll say black grandpa for the sake of this conversation, that hates every white person that walks into the house. And you have to kind of explain to your white friends like that's just grandpa. He came from a different time when the
dude,
relationships between blacks and
I
whites wasn't the same.
I
And so
I had the same thing with my grandparents in there,
yeah,
where
and so
they at least were no longer using a certain word, but
yeah,
they still said, my grandma was like, "Oh, maybe we can have that nice colored boy come over to wash our car."
yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, like and so when you look at movies like Revenge of the Nerds, Porky's,
yeah,
I can name quite a few from back in that era. You have to look at them from the era of that era's lens. You can't look at them through today's lenses,
Animal
or it will
House.
screw. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll screw things up for you big time. And
yeah.
what I mean
It's
is
yeah,
it takes you out of the ability to just enjoy it for what it is.
and also, you know, be happy that we're no longer stuck in that where, you know, oh, they're spying on co-eds in their sorority. we're no
Oh
longer
my
we're
god.
no longer 13-year-old boys.
Yes. Yes. Like and so yeah. I don't think there's much from the 80s and 90s that would survive today's
John
litmus
Hughes,
test.
I think most of John
Well,
Hughes.
yeah, but there's some parts even the John Hughes films that are
Right,
questionable.
like Weird
Um,
Science. No,
but in general, I think that if you can look at it through a perspective of I'll just take this for what it is, I think you could
yeah,
even through today's lens you can enjoy what that is. Because one of my favorite sayings is always, if you can't laugh at yourself, you have no business laughing at everybody else,
yeah,
and
exactly.
that's the way. Yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
all right. So that'll close us out for Pop Culture Corner. We are going to go on ahead and jump into our commercial promo block. Like I said, hopefully we'll get Saint back. He's busy taking care of some things for the talk about WWE's Elimination Chamber 26, as we will be talking uh, wrestling on SmackDown Alley and video game talk after the break. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch, YouTube, wherever you're joining us. We love you thanks for tapping in, and we'll be back with more on the Cheap Pop Podcast, brought to you by First GenXers. Peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the Saint. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the Switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone, I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit.
Adam's family like dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. Like very true.
Yeah.
Well, I always temper this because I think
I did not like the procedural caution tagline.
I've also seen what Chase Center looks like when the Valkyries are fucking playing, so fuck all of you. Because Chase Center is packed no matter what's going on.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah. Come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami.
all right. And we are back. Yes, we are back here on the Cheap Pop Podcast. That was a quick promo break for you there. And now we can go directly from that and jump into all right. So we're gonna get to Elimination Chamber. Did you get a chance to watch Raw and SmackDown?
I got a chance to see Raw. So
Okay, so then we'll open up there and we'll kind of ease you into Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. They did do let's start off kicking off talking about the AJ Styles tribute that they did and everything that kind of happened to close the show. That was so like it brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
The video package that they showed to Creed's hire was very well done. Like I said, whoever they hire to do the video packages for WWE, the dude deserves raises 10 times over because he's been banging them out for years, dating back to WrestleMania 17, like 25 years ago.
Yep.
But they gave us a great video package. AJ gave us a great speech, and I'm going to tell you now, I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's done. Like I don't think there's some comeback gonna happen later.
Aside from doing training, yeah.
Yeah, I think he said he's already basically signed a contract with WWE to train the younger generation, and he wants to stick with WWE to do it. So I think he's done. I think like we may see him making appearances from here and there, but I don't think we'll see him wrestle again.
Yeah, we'll see him on legend contract stuff, but not
Right.
Yeah.
He gets to go be one of the guys in the crowd that they show.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, AJ, and then he goes home. I can say this as well. The bit with the Undertaker at the end, I kind of liked it. Especially considering he's the one that retired the Undertaker. He did the Barnyard match with him. And have Taker come out and be the one to tell him and to make the announcement that he's being inducted into the
26 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is the second person in the class. Remember, the first person that was announced was Stephanie McMahon back at WrestlePalooza. I believe she's the headliner, and then AJ Styles as well. So I know just for those two, I'll be tuning into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. But I thought it was great that they immediately inducted him. There's been a debate going around about whether or not he deserved to be inducted before Cena.
I mean, I will admit that it's strange. I think that they're saving Cena for a big announcement prior to the Hall. He's going to be like the showstopper announcement for Hall of Fame.
If they don't induct him this year, I don't expect it to be for 2 years, because next year Mania is in Saudi. So I don't believe that they'll do it there. I think they'll want to do it somewhere stateside. So I agree with you. I think either he's going to be like, because we've got 7 weeks to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And there's normally about 6 to 8 people who get announced to be inducted. So we've still got like 5 or 6 more announcements coming. So I could see Cena going in on the same card as AJ Styles.
Yeah.
On the same Hall of Fame card as AJ Styles. Both deserve it.
No question. Yeah.
But like it is, I will say this. It is gonna be weird to an extent. Now I say to an extent because for Cena, it's not really that weird seeing the WWE without him, because the WWE has basically been without him for the better part of the past 3 to 5 years. Like he came back for feuds here and there, but Cena had been gone to do movies for a while now. So this retirement run was okay, cool. Now you're not now we don't expect to see you ever show up again, other than an appearance here and there. But AJ Styles is gonna feel like there's a hole there. Because I've gotten used to seeing AJ every week. I've gotten used to seeing AJ in big matches and big feuds, at the top of the card for WWE for the better part of the past 10 years. So that's the one that's going to change. That's going to change watching WWE for me.
Yeah.
We outside of AJ's speech at the end of the show, we did get what I felt was an A+ match between Javon Evans and Kofi Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
You got the original OG version of Bouncy versus the new young OG in Javon Evans, and it was everything that I expected it to be.
Yeah.
A lot of high flying spots, a lot of great moments, and a finish that would make you smile. So let's see more of that.
Yeah.
Let's see more of that.
Let's get Javon Evans that push.
Yes, and also on Raw this week, we had Paul Heyman come out, not as the wise man, not as the oracle, but once again, as the advocate. That's right. Paul Heyman is back as the advocate for Brock Lesnar. And he came out as the advocate for Brock Lesnar to announce the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge for WrestleMania. So anybody that wants to step up and get sent to Suplex City can do so at this year's WrestleMania. They did not announce an opponent this week, even though it looked like Brock expected somebody to come out. So I wonder what was up with that. You know, if you watch the segment, it looked like Brock expected somebody to come out. But nobody came out, and they went into the back. But the challenge has been laid down. It's weird. It's funny to think who's going to pick up that gauntlet. Who can you? Because I was going to say who could use that rub, but I don't think they're beating Lesnar. Like whoever steps up for the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge, I don't think they're beating Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't really have. There's no heat with anyone between Brock and anyone.
Right. You know what I could see? This could lead to Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Right.
Which to me is a money match.
Yeah.
You know, which to me is a money match. So the Ruler versus the Beast.
Oh yeah,
that would be fun. We got a sample of it in we got a sample of it at the Royal Rumble. Now here's another weird way that we could do it. Okay. We'll get to the shenanigans that happened at Elimination Chamber, but I'm going to kind of jump ahead for prediction's sake. This upcoming Friday, we have Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship on SmackDown. Right? I think Cody loses that match. And Cody is the one that steps up to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Because at this point, if Cody loses that match, then we have then Cody's not in any of the main events at WrestleMania for like the first time in 3 years. So it's going to be interesting to see how WWE plays it. But the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge leaves a lot of places for a lot of people to go, and we'll discuss also that when we discuss the shenanigans of Elimination Chamber, because my predicted winner for Elimination Chamber did not actually win. So we had the men's and women's Elimination Chamber qualifier. There's rumors speculating that Bronson Reed was supposed to win the triple threat match on Raw. But since he got hurt, that's why Jay won. Right? Mm-hmm. But we'll get to that when we get to SmackDown and how they kind of pivoted off of that. We had a women's Elimination Chamber qualifier where Raquel Rodriguez became the final woman, beating Io Sky and Kairi Sane. And yeah, it was a hell of a match. Mm-hmm. Let's see, and that was pretty much about it. CM Punk came out and cut a promo about Finn Balor and Roman Reigns, and Liv Morgan addressed her decision and made her decision that she's going after Stephanie Becker and not Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. So that meant that the winner of the Elimination Chamber on Saturday would go on to face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. So okay, I like that. All right, so here's the thing that we have to stop by SmackDown for. SmackDown opened this week with Jey Uso being loaded into an ambulance.
Uh-oh.
After having been attacked. They still have not announced by who and or anything along those lines. But Jacob Fatu was screaming at Nick Aldis that he better find out. So this led through a bunch of shenanigans throughout the night that led to Logan Paul versus Jacob Fatu for Jey Uso's Elimination Chamber spot.
Mm-hmm.
Which unfortunately was won by Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So I would have rather have seen Jacob Fatu, but whatever. So SmackDown was pretty good. You had Logan Paul win. The Irresistible Forces knocked off Riho for the women's tag team titles, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I kind of saw that coming with WrestleMania coming up. And when you hear about the results of the Elimination Chamber women's match, you'll understand why I think that was a good choice that they did this. Carmelo Hayes defeated Matt Cardona. via pinfall to retain his U.S. title. I think he's doing great with that. Uncle Howdy and Solo Sikoa have a great feud going now. They had a one-on-one match, which Uncle Howdy won, but the MFT still walked off with the lamp. So the lamp is still in the possession of the MFTs. Boo. Tiffany Stratton defeated Kairi Sane in an impromptu match. She was supposed to face Asuka. Jordan Grace defeated Candice LeRae with Johnny Gargano laying planked on the on the announcer's desk, and that was just great. That was just the best scene, the best part of the show ever. Outside of this, due to a backstage segment the previous Friday, Obafemi and The Miz found themselves standing across the ring from each other. Now, if you want to catch this clip, go over to WWE on YouTube. You can catch this clip. The Miz tries to talk himself out of the match. He tries to talk himself into becoming Oba's mentor and tag team partner. Oba even came up with a name and called them the Awesome Rulers. Crowd wasn't buying it.
Yeah.
Oba promptly looks at Adam and says, Miz, you gonna die tonight. And he promptly proceeds to beat the living snot out of the Miz before hitting him with a fall for grace for the 1, 2, 3. But the segment between them going back and forth and Miz trying to convince him to let him be his manager, and instead of facing him in the match was just pure Miz gold. I love this guy for a reason. Like, I hated him when he first came out, when he first joined WWE. He's become one of my favorite wrestlers ever since then. If you want to see the moment when The Miz became one of my favorite wrestlers, you have to go back to WrestleMania, where he faced John Cena for the WWE Championship and his Hate Me Now video package. And it really turned the corner for me when it came to The Miz, and I began enjoying him as a character. All right, so now we move on to the Elimination Chamber. All right, so we opened up with the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which was Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley versus Tiffany Stratton versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Kiana James versus Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. It was one hell of a match. It was definitely worth watching. I didn't like them. They kept cutting to Jade Cargill in some box watching the match. I was like, I don't give a shit about her watching the match. I want to know what's going on in the cage. And had a bunch. What's up?
Nope, just agreeing with you.
Yeah. But had a great sequence where Raquel Rodriguez Tahana bombs Asuka on top of, I believe it's Kiana James, and pins them both. Like, it was so amazing. Like, and like Roman Reigns, like the Daniel Bryan's Edge, double stacking them to get the pin. She got the eliminations, but the victor was who I thought it was going to be from the beginning, which was Big Mommy. Rhea Ripley is headed to WrestleMania. I'm not going to say I called it a long time ago, because I didn't. I didn't call it until Friday Night SmackDown, when there was an interaction between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley in the crowd reaction. And I was like, yeah, Cargill and Ripley is the money match. And that's what we're getting at WrestleMania. It's Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. And I don't know if Jade's up for this, but I'm hoping that she is, because it's going to be a hell of a match. Based on last year's, or what was it? Last year or 2 years ago when Becky Lynch faced Rhea Ripley. That match was brutal. But yeah. Tiffy gave us some great moments. I think this is a one that you would want to see your girl in, Dave. Sal Ruka one day. I think she would be really good inside of Elimination Chamber. It is brutal on the body though, and unfortunately, my Lexi Bliss was the first one eliminated. Boo, boo! I wanted to see more of Lexi. All right, so we went from that match to the Women's Intercontinental Title match with the greatest woman to ever wrestle. And I'm not the only one who says it. Sports Illustrated says it. The Bleacher Report says it. They all say it. She's the greatest women's wrestler ever. Except for last night when she promptly lost to AJ Lee and gave up her Intercontinental Championship. So we have a new women's Intercontinental Champion, and that is the one and only AJ Lee. And I'm here for it. It was, again, a good match. Becky dominated most of it. But AJ Lee, of course, came out with the victory at the end, with making Becky tap, of all things. Love it. So that led us into our next match, which was, of course, the World Heavyweight Championship match, which was CM Punk taking on Finn Balor. They gave CM Punk a pretty special intro, and I loved it. It was using the ring announcer from the Bulls, the iconic dude they used to call Michael Jordan's entrance into the Bulls games, and he called in for CM Punk, and yeah, it was very well done. They gave him a hometown hero's welcome for sure, and him and Finn Balor gave the crowd a show and a half. It resulted in exactly what I thought it would, because again, Roman versus Punk is the money match for Mania. So I said this last week on the show. I didn't understand the reason for this Finn Balor match, other than just to give the crowd a good show, because I don't think there's anybody that expected Balor to win the match and take the title. So, and they gave us a match worth watching, 100%. But the winner was CM Punk, as he retains, and he celebrated with his wife as they stood in the ring smiling and laughing and both holding their championships high. So it was a great moment, considering this pay-per-view was basically all about him. It was in Chicago. The show, he was the headliner. Like, it was all about him. So I'm glad they got that moment. Because again, watching people like John Cena and AJ Styles retire makes me know that people like CM Punk ain't much longer, and Randy Orton ain't much longer for the game. But speaking of Randall, Mr. RKO himself, he managed to catch the victory for the men's Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. I thought it was going to be Cody Rhodes for sure. I thought we were getting Drew Cody at WrestleMania, but we are not. We have a chance of, like I mentioned earlier when I jumped forward, we will be having Drew versus Cody for the belt at SmackDown. So if the belt changes hand there, we may be getting Cody versus Orton at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But let me give a bravo to the young OG, Mr. Bouncy himself, Javon Evans. He gave us a hell of a show in the Elimination Chamber. Let's see. Logan Paul was the big surprise, because Logan Paul officially eliminated half of the field himself. Logan Paul eliminated Trick Williams, LA Knight, and Javon Evans. Before we had the second biggest story to come out of Elimination Chamber, which was the reveal of who the masked man was.
Hold on. Go ahead. Lay it on me. I can't stand the stress anymore.
I told you a couple of weeks ago. It was Seth and Rollins.
Really?
Oh man. Yeah, that reveal, it was a good reveal the way that they did it.
Yeah.
Because on SmackDown, Logan Paul got attacked during the main event match by a masked man. And they pulled his mask off and nobody knew who the hell it was. It was some random dude. And we're like, okay, is that the dude? Then I don't know if anybody else noticed this. You can tell me whenever you get a chance to watch Elimination Chamber if you noticed this. But the guy that they pull off the cage at Elimination Chamber, the first guy that they pull off the page and unmask, he looks almost identical to Seth Rollins. Like the first guy kind of looked like Seth Rollins. This guy looked almost a little bit more like Seth Rollins. And then a third guy comes up and into the cage.
Okay.
After they've run off the last guy. And he comes in, hits him with the kick and the stomp, and then he takes off the mask, and it is Seth Rollins. So
now, speaking of reveals, I would like for WrestleMania, I would like to see a El Grande Americano Original versus El Grande Americano match, solo match, for masks.
we'll see. That may be where they're heading. Like I said, I want to say they had a confrontation or a match last night on the AAA that took place after Elimination Chamber on YouTube, but I think that's where they're headed. I think we're definitely heading to that style of match. There was one other thing that happened, and I'm happy, but I can also understand why a lot of the IWC is underwhelmed. We had the debut of Danhausen in WWE at the whatchamacallit. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of him for you guys, for those people who may not know who Danhausen is. He's a former AEW wrestler and a former independent wrestler. And no, there you go. No, not that. There you go. All right, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna bring up this picture real quick. This is Danhausen. He's kind of a comedy act, but not really. And he came out with like this complete dance number. So basically, the box that they've been hinting at on Raw and SmackDown over the past few weeks. Danhausen was in the box.
Oh, okay.
So, like I said, it was kind of underwhelming, and I can understand why the IWC was not really a huge fan of the way that the WWE did it. But I think over time, the WWE universe will enjoy the character and be more than happy to embrace him.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I see him winning a WWE championship. Like, he's a small dude. Like, I want to say, like, we're talking like Billy Kidman type small. He's not a really tall, like big, like bulky dude. But I could see him winning a couple of like mid-card titles, US titles, IC titles, stuff like that. Because he's a great character. Just the crowd's got to take some time to get to know him. But that was the events of Elimination Chamber, and I can say we are officially on the final leg of the road to WrestleMania over the next 7 weeks. Everything on Raw and SmackDown will mean something because, and I believe we have one more Saturday night's main event coming up before WrestleMania. So 7 weeks. This is the fun time of WWE. There during that last stretch in that leg road to WrestleMania. Actually, between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania is the good time, but definitely the last 7 weeks. So, all right. So that's going to close it out for us for wrestling talk for today. Let's get over to our final segment of the show, which is all right. Cheap Pop game reviews. I see that you had a story for us about Nakron?
Nakon,
sorry.
Yep. So, developers behind Greedfall, which was pretty popular when it hit, did very well. And, well, nope. The studio shuts down just a few days before the release of Greedfall 2.
Oh, no. That's not cool.
No, it is not. Okay. So, yeah.
So, what does this mean for us?
Well, just means that they so here's some of the other stuff that they had besides Greedfall. Hell Is Us, RoboCop, so Test Drive Unlimited. So probably means that we're not going to get a sequel to RoboCop Road City.
Oh, great! That was one of Saints ones that he loved, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, he's gonna be sad to hear that.
Yep.
The studio shut down.
So,
Sorry.
Okay, so they yeah, and they had just gotten this is just a few days before their in-house showcase where they're going to announce a slew of other titles that they're going to be doing on.
Like, so much for that, I guess.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It's funny how that's business though for you, ain't it? Like,
Yep.
yeah. All right.
Hmm.
All right. So I hate to be rude, but sucks to be them. Like, I hope that they find. Well, the game's still going to get released, right? So if the game is all of a sudden a hit, maybe the studio can stay open, or
we'll see. But it's filed for insolvency, and
yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess Greedfall 2, The Dying World, will be released on March 12th.
Nice.
Yep.
All
So
right.
we'll see. That could be the final release from them.
That sucks. Well, it's all. Aren't we glad we have mega corporations like Sony?
Yep.
The PS5 has 10 big games releasing in March 2026, according to this article written by Dalton Cooper on Game Rat. PS5 is looking at Sony's own Marathon game with Planet of Luna 2, Children of the Leaf dropping on the same day, which is March 5th. March 12th will then see Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly remake, Greedfall 2, which we were just talking about.
Yep.
The Dying World and Toxic Commando all launch on the same day, with Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, and WWE 2K26 releasing on March 13th. PlayStation-owned MLB The Show 26 will release on March 17th, while Crimson Desert is coming to the console on March 19th.
Yep.
Finally, the ridiculously busy month of March will conclude with Life is Strange Reunion releasing for the PS5 on March 26th. Wow. I forget now that like it people got to realize, like, for me with the WWE games, it's actually been kind of weird because for those of you who don't know, I actually worked or didn't work, but I actually helped out the audio department on for some things for WWE 2K17 and 18, I believe. Got free copies of the game for working for 2K all the way up till 2K20. That was pretty cool. But WWE 2K used to release in October. Like, I don't know why they chose to release it in October, because I've thought since the game first came out, it should always be released around WrestleMania time.
Right.
Well, and that's
releasing in October gets it closer to the Christmas time.
Right. I'll say, but now they've switched it. Like, they went a whole year basically without making a game. I want to say there is no WWE 2K24. They went on, or is it 2K22? I forget which one. I know there's a 2K20, but they stopped making the game for a year, and then when they brought it back, they started releasing it in March, right alongside WrestleMania, or right before WrestleMania. And I was like, now this is how it should be. Yep. And so, but needless to say, yes, that's the one I'm most looking forward to. Is there anything on that list that you are looking forward to, sir, yourself?
Not in particular, but I do have some follow-up Sony news once we're ready to move on. But
sure.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
I'll say, go ahead. Now, what's your Sony news?
Okay, so last week we reported about Sony shuttering Blue Point Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, For those of you not in the know, Blue Point was the go-to studio for Sony for remake games for Sony. And so apparently, just a few days after that, PlayStation Germany put up a poll. What PlayStation classic game do you want to see remade?
Okay.
It's like, dude, you just shuttered the studio that does your remakes.
Yeah. Goofies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the best of timing.
They have a reason for it, but I
Yeah.
don't ever understand what it is. Anyway, but yeah, no, that's quite interesting. Well, let's see what game the people choose, and let's see what Sony does with that information. That's going to be the
Yeah.
important part, right? All right. Here, I do have some bad news for PC gamers. You know, PC
Mhm.
Master Race and all, Mr. Tech Tinkers. I want to say that it's being said that if you want to play Wolverine, you'll probably have to buy a PS5. Sony is saying Sony may be pulling back on the PC ports.
Yeah.
For the game. So if that's what they're doing, yeah, I guess they're looking to try to boost sales by funneling everybody that wants to play the game to a PS5. Kind of, like I want to say that, video game companies have had this idea before.
Mm-hmm.
With console exclusive games. I still like. I'll say this before I let you jump in with your thoughts, sir. My favorite time in gaming was when a game like Soul Calibur came out for every single system, but there was a small tweak with the game. Like there was a different character that you could only get for that console. I like that idea more so than I like an individual game only being available on one console. But your thoughts, sir?
I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, that's also, well, the economy is just not right for that anymore. That we've got. And in general, Sony has the typical business outlook of, well, why should we make billions when we can make millions by keeping it all proprietary? This is not new behavior from Sony.
Yeah.
It's what we've seen before. It's what we expect from them. I mean, for God's sake, they're rebooting the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Again. Yeah.
Okay, just toss those yen into the fire. Why don't you?
Oh my God. They are, like I said, they make weird decisions, but they make weird decisions, but it seems to all be in the gauge of whatever their master plan is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't get it. I have spoken up on multiple occasions and said that I've never understood the thing with console exclusive games. I think the games, if developers want to make money, they should be making games available to everybody. PC, Xbox, Switch. It should be available everywhere. That's how you're going to maximize your profits.
Right.
But whatever. All right. So last subject is this. I don't quite understand what this means. Maybe you can explain it to me. Fallout 3 remastered, Shadow Drop teased by Bethesda Studio.
Okay, so basically, Fallout 3 is, we know that there's a remaster coming. It's in the works.
Okay.
Fallout 3 basically being the Capital Wasteland, the DC area, and more importantly, where we first encounter Liberty Prime that we saw at the end of the TV series, the blueprints for.
Okay.
So, but the shadow drop just basically means that, yeah, we're working on it, but we're not going to let you know. So you got to keep watching and following, and, we'll
Paying
tell you when it
attention.
hits the stores.
Yeah. So it's just Bethesda playing games, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go figure. A video game company plays games with the people who spend their money at the video game company.
Yep.
One last side note, real quick, was and this dates back to the pop culture segment. I should have brought this up at the end, but recently there has been a new season, and I say new season, yes, of Scrubs that has dropped. It's not a reboot, it's not a remake. It's literally a continuation of the stories of the original Scrubs that went for 9 seasons. So this would be season 10, and I've watched the first 2 episodes. Similar comedy to exactly the original series. All the connections and the screen on screen chemistry that you see is there. I actually even like this group of interns a little bit better than the last time that they did this, which was like season 8, season 9, when Sacred Heart became a teaching school.
Right.
But I sat there and watched it. It was 2 like 25-minute episodes without the commercials, and I laughed my way for about a good 40 minutes to the point where my belly was hurting. It was all of the grades. So I recommend. It's on Hulu, even if you have like the $14 version of Hulu, $15 version of Hulu. It's on Hulu. You can watch them as the episodes drop every Wednesday. You can't watch them live on TV unless you have live TV, but you can watch them on demand every Thursday. So I know I'll be keeping up with them. So far, so good. We'll see where they go with it from here. But I just wanted to mention that before we jump into the final segment of the show. Where can we find you next? Where normally the 3 of us tell you where you can find us next, but today it's just going to be the 2 of us. Hopefully Saint makes it back for next week. Squire, where can we find you next, sir?
I promise I will be on the night shift tonight with Horizon Forbidden West. Just had a rough week this past week and just did not have the energy to keep doing it. So, but I will be getting back into the flow tonight.
No worries. We'll be glad to see you back at the helm, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and as for me, you'll find me in about. I've gotten confirmation from my other 2 co-hosts, so it'll be a threesome tonight. No, it'll be the 3 of us, me, Suave, and O'Malley on the classroom, talking, pretty much catching up on a bunch of stuff from last week and a bunch of the new stuff for the NFL offseason, and as well the beginning of spring training and the heat of the NBA playoff race. So join us at 6 for that. And as far as the video games go, I should be back again on Tuesday with College Football 26, probably around my normal 10 a.m. start time. But I will 100%, and I'm not saying this in a Richard, what was it? Not Richard, but Tricky Dick type way, or George Bush, no new taxes type way. I mean it. I've actually invested some money in Halo Wars 2 in one of their side skirmishes. So next week for Retro Saturdays, I will be bringing us Halo Wars 2, and I forget what the name of the one is, but you'll have to tune in and see. It'll be like 10 a.m. on Saturday. I will be bringing back Retro Saturdays. I know I haven't done a Retro Saturday in like 3-4 months, but I will definitely be back. And then you can also join me for Football Tuesdays, NBA Wednesdays, and SmackDown Thursdays. So, all right, y'all. That's it for us for this week. Unfortunately, Saint wasn't able to join us, so hopefully all is okay with him.
Yep.
And we will see him next week. Like I said, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or X, Blue Sky, etc. All the links are in the bio. All right, y'all. So stay up, stay real. And that'll do it for us for this week's Cheap Pop Podcast. Peace.
All right.
Bye.